doesn't have everything to do with just color. I mean, you know, to the extent that race plays a role, okay, but we overcome it with the parts that we can overcome to keep ourselves in the half column. And we've been reading this book. It's an amazing book. So please bring your book. We're going to reflect a little bit on it tonight, a little bit. But whoever going to read Acts of Faith just started out, and we may have to go again sometime later. Go ahead.
Your mate is your mirror. Many of us think we're lucky or blessed when we find just the right person to love. And now we know that nothing in life is an accident, including the selection of a mate. The people who come into our lives are a reflection of who we are. They reveal to us those things we cannot or refuse to see about ourselves. The very thing we don't like about our mate is the thing we need to change.
Wow.
The thing we love about the other person is a hidden, undeveloped, or unrecognized asset that we have. We can only draw to us those people who are on our array, our level of energy and development. They reflect back to us the very things we do. Most of us reject this idea, but then most of us reject criticism too. We find it difficult to accept those things about us that others see. We do, however, feel completely justified when you criticize our mates. Here's a question for you. How do you know what to call what you see in your mate unless you had seen it somewhere else? I'm looking in the mirror of self and making adjustments in me.
Wow. Man, that was powerful, brother. That right there kind of took me by surprise. Hey, T, you all right?
Lovely,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Look like little mama over there could be your daughter's cousin.
Yeah.
Look at her, cool. Ain't she cool? Come on, man, get you some of these wings, man. Have some of these.
So stop.
Oh, look at this. Let's mess with this. Before we do though, Mike, would you please introduce that beautiful young lady that you have right there? Slide back so we can see her real good. And pull your pants up, boy. You don't say anything.
I'm Michael Fox, if y'all don't know.
What's up?
This is my last child, Bella.
Bella?
Man, Bella's 2 years old. She just turned 2 July 12th.
Oh, yes.
Hey, answer that.
Give Bella a big hand. Hi, Bella. We love
They're
this.
clapping for you. Come on, baby.
So glad to see you.
Clap, baby. Come on, clap. Clap it out. Clap it out.
Oh, that's beautiful. Does she want something to eat?
Yeah, I'm
gonna get some potato salad. She might, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know our dad. You know how to do it, but I'm just letting you know. Don't let her have some of everything. Trav, this is really. It's interesting that you picked that. You read this. You know why I say that? Because over the years that we've been messing around with one another, Trav has had, you know, he's got great taste, and he's had some of the most pretty young ladies that, you know, in his life, you know. And this reading suggests, this is the reading, not me. This reading suggests that something in them is that you love or like is really something that you love or like about yourself, but that thing could be undeveloped.
Yeah.
Right? And to that extent, I'll take it one step further. I could tell you 2 of them young ladies that you had was trying to love you out of your behavior, and you was with them because of it, but you just wouldn't listen. And then here you are reading this particular reading. I just find that more than an accident. You know. Talk about that a little bit. Reflect on that.
I think I relate to the part about when it talks about mate. I think just for the quality of women that I've always chosen, they are more developed in areas that I probably lack. That I do want to that I've been working on. There's a part that I did like. I'm trying to find it. Even the part about, the very part that we don't like about our ladies and things we need to change. I think that speaks a lot to my stubbornness, and I was thinking that I know best. I know a lot of situations or arguments or disagreements being about that. with the women that I've had in my life too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that, yeah, I'm kind of reflecting right now on what you said, but when I was reading it, was speaking to me too. This is kind of my situation I'm in right now.
And what about
I'm not
that
able
young,
going through.
that young lady you with now? I haven't met her.
You met it.
Oh, the same, okay.
Pop time. She was here about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. How y'all doing? Be honest.
It's been a struggle.
Mm-hmm. But what's the struggle?
To be honest with you, I think the struggle is, it has a lot to do with me gaining my independence. I think for so long, this is just my assumption, that she's gotten used to being in control of a lot of things. And even though I was there helping direct and guide, it was still her at the end of the day.
That's right.
And I feel like she is kind of has insecurity with me getting my full manpower back, you know, and as much as it sounds like she doesn't want that to happen, I think she's scared that the inevitable, and her fear is that we're not, you know, I'm gonna outgrow her or leave her or something.
Right.
So it's been a, you know, it's just been one of those things, getting myself right, you know, and not really having to need her there so much. I think it's kind of, you know, based on past incidences too, it's coming up like it might look the same,
Right.
you know, but cause I just got, you know, I'm back at the union on the 20th, so I already got a job lined up and.
Come on, give him some love.
So it's a, you know, it's a good feeling inside, and I don't want to say that she's hating on that, but I think it's one of the things like, she's now like, well, where do I stand with this issue?
Right. Where does she stand?
Yeah,
Go for it.
I think you may be misinterpreting a little bit because, now this is just me, Travis, you know. You're a smart brother, you know, I love you, man. And I know that you know how to do it, have your business. But, that being said, I believe one thing most brothers don't want to admit to is that the lady already had a plan for you before you got home.
Yeah.
And she was talking to you for years about it.
Yeah.
Now, whether you heard it or not, or you acknowledged her.
One second, Amy. Hey, anybody got a truck right around the corner? The traffic controller, officer's right there, filling out something.
Anybody got, who got a truck?
A brown truck,
No.
right around the corner.
Okay. Thank you.
There ain't nobody in here then.
Okay.
Thank goodness for that.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
But I mean, he's just filling out other things, you know.
Right.
Oh, no.
Found so far.
You're looking back here. All right.
I want to.
Wait, I'm gonna wait down. Can you sit down?
Yeah, I'm not going to sit here. But I worry about racing on chain. That's going to have to be charged.
Oh, go, okay.
Or go
Do what
crazy.
you do.
Well, let me sit down and talk.
Yeah.
What I was saying to you, just to, you know, reiterate what I was saying. A lot of women already have a plan for us when we're in the joint, and they be talking to us about this plan. And they're trying to fill us out, see if we're ready for it, or if that's the way we want to go, you know? But that being said, Travis, a lot of times, man, like this, I'm speaking for myself, for me personally, the things I have done in the past, the way I've done them, got me back in trouble again, or back in a situation I didn't want to be in. Now, if I had listened to my wife and what she was saying, and how she was saying it to me, it probably would have worked out different, like it's working out now. You know what I'm saying? So my success and my feelings that I was supposed to be at the place I was supposed to be at, I would have been there a long time ago. You know, most people believe that the relationships that we have in the penitentiary won't work on the streets anyway because the dynamics change so much. You know? And people are insecure about that. You know, you got penitentiary groupies that go to the penitentiary. They won't mess with nobody unless he's in the penitentiary. So you got to think about that piece. And you make an advancement, wanting progress in life. She may feel threatened by that, but that's your job if you want her to let her see through your behavior that ain't nothing changed. You're still tight.
Wow.
I still love you, we're still tight.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not, you was there when you supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now it's my turn to be there for
Ooh,
you.
Donald, that's good. That's good.
I'm just saying.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Y'all don't recognize.
I'm just saying it.
Now this is
I've been through that, I'm just saying.
this is big boy conversation right here.
Yeah.
Because
Just telling you.
this is the number one way for us to go back to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship.
That's
Number
right,
one.
that's right.
And so
That's right.
what we're talking about here really is everything. Mike Fox, the one thing you're struggling with now is a failed relationship, and you're trying to recover from, this here. But watch this. I'll hold up. Somebody else want to chime in on what Trav had to say or what Donald said? Anybody else?
Well,
Did you read the reading yet?
yes, I did.
Go ahead, go ahead.
And
With the reading in mind, go ahead and say what you got to say.
I disagree with when they said your partner is a reflection of you.
Uh-huh.
Because the few women that I've been with,
Mhm.
there's no way on earth
Mhm.
that that's a reflection of me.
Right.
Because my life ways,
Mhm.
my mental aspect is
Mhm.
intact.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna go into that.
Right.
And I've seen some partners that I had where their mental aspects was not, I repeat, they were not intact.
Except for now you ain't with them.
Sure ain't, they're gone.
No,
They're gone.
no, I got out of that.
Plus,
That's
plus
the
you
point of
keeping
it.
up in yourself to realize what, you can't see you like I see you,
Right.
or like she sees you.
Right.
So there's other aspects in there that you just not seeing. It's that blind
That's
spot
good.
we all
That's
carry
good.
right here,
Right.
right here.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't care if you're a professor, you're a doctor of love. You
Yeah.
just can't see this.
Right, I agree.
And when the psychiatrists talk about it, they talk about repressed feelings and thoughts and desires. That's what he was talking about in this thing. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
They're telling us another way that we can't see this. And these things are repressed in us and undeveloped because we can't see them.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I'm attracted to my wife because she's strong and she's powerful.
Right.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And I want to do that.
Yeah.
Come on now. I'm
Yes,
just telling
sir.
you. I'm just telling you
Yes, sir.
how,
Yes, sir.
how it
That's
is.
good. And T, you're right. And everybody's right. But look
There's
what
no wrong or
what
right
you-
to it. It's just how we talk.
what
Right?
you're saying is you realize you were in some relationships you might have went in because of the one thing,
Think of one thing.
and then you start looking for something else, and that wasn't present.
The communication was horrible.
So-
The communication, see, me, I don't look at all the outer part. I look at what's from the inside, the mental aspect of a person. Your mental aspect is collaborating with mine, then we face a chance. We
Right.
stand a chance.
Right.
I tried three years with one, another 3 with another. I've been on for 9 years. For 10 years I've been out. I had 3 relationships. And one was for 2.5 years. I lived with the woman and still had that apartment.
Yeah.
I stayed with a woman for 2 years and paid rent at an apartment that I didn't live in. I paid rent in that apartment for 2 years and didn't live there. There was no bed. Then I finally got the bed, and then she made a comment. I stepped on. I backed up.
She made a comment.
She made a comment. Don't ever give me the person that I'm not welcome.
Right.
Lock me out.
That's right. But you really see,
But
but what the reading is saying, and I'm thinking you're misinterpreting this because really you're agreeing with the reading, but just in a different way. The reading is saying, the people who come into our lives are a reflection of who we are. They reveal to us things we cannot or refuse to see about ourselves. So them ladies revealed something to you. And this is what you're saying. You read that, and it wasn't good.
I gained my independence from it. I said,
Good. Go.
I gained my independence from it because, let's not forget, not to change the subject or nothing, but a relationship is what got me in prison.
Right.
So when I went to prison and did, 6 months in SEG, I regrouped my thought process and said, in order for me not to allow this to happen, I gotta pop the cap. Just give me the point over you. Prior to you mentioning about how we had to pop the cap in group, about getting your own, I had to comprehend that in my life.
Yes, sir.
It said, in order for me not to allow this to happen,
Yes, sir.
I can't let the woman be the cap of my life.
wow.
I gotta pop the cap.
Yeah.
I got to be in charge. This lease got to be in my name.
Sure.
So if you come over and something take place, guess who got to go? You. I'm in control of this. Him. You dig?
But beside that, it took you a while to get
To the
there.
minute.
And then also you're saying, back to what Trav was saying, I love this comment, that as you are pressing in for some adulthood over your behavior, which we all are, which we all are. When I was a child, I thought as a child. I acted as a child. But it says, but when I became a man, I put aside. So now you are putting some things aside, and you know it.
I got,
But those things that you're putting aside could seem threatening to her comfort level, the habit of being in total control of her life and yours that she's had. And I think that's what Donald was saying. It was a good point, and I like Donald chiming in on this point, because Donald spent such a long time away, and his wife stayed with him even through the time he done went back a couple of 2-3 times, but she stayed. And what he's saying is, I have to realize there's something about her that I'm attracted to, and I need it. And I need to just allow it to take place so that I can get out of life what I need. That was a beautiful comment. Hold up, T. Now, so go say something back to that.
I think, I don't know really how to express it right now. I just feel like, I mean, I'm in agreement with what he says and what everybody's saying here.
Yeah.
You know, I think, I just don't wanna, and this is, I just don't want to I should have said I don't want to. I have to make the decision if it's gonna be a relationship that's gonna end up holding me back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm doing a lot of growing myself, you know, and if it's getting to that point where you're holding me back from growing, because of some things you dealt with or my past decisions, you know what I'm saying? So, because I have a lot of good things going for me right now.
Sure.
Like credit-wise, my job, and this is stuff that I'm walking out. And
Right.
I think, you know, we talk about a plan, we've been in this plan for a while. I've been the one to sabotage my part, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, that's kind of, you know, I talk about it with my brother a lot, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not jumping to conclusions, you know, I've only been out 90 days, and it's
Right.
just been, there's been some things that we've been trying to iron and work out, and that's just in my back of my mind, is I'm not gonna let it be a hindrance to my success.
That's good.
Man.
I want to get you, Leonard, to come into this, but watch this though. But be careful that you are being a bridge builder versus, you know, blowing up something. Because you do have a responsibility to bring her along across that bridge that you are trying to cross with patience and with loving. You know, that hee-haw, ya stuff is not gonna get it, right? But because she has shown you that she was a soldier, and it would be wrong of you to be disrespectful of that service she put in without giving her all the benefits of the doubt, and giving her a chance to grow into the new you too. Leonard, what you got?
I want to just curtail what he said. One of the things that I liked about the reading period that really kind of touched me was that me personally, you know, I want to be in a relationship with somebody who can see the things that I can't see, but also is strong enough and loves me enough to point that out to me
Yeah.
Say it.
without having fear of me coming back at them in a negative way.
Yeah.
You know, like my wife now, one of the reasons I love her is because she's strong, and I know that my best, and she has my best interest at heart.
Yeah.
I'm still a diamond in the rough,
Yeah.
and I need to be with somebody who's strong enough to say, hey,
Yeah.
stop, cut it out.
Yeah.
That's right.
All my life I've been with women that I can just do anything, you know, because I had low expectations of them because I had low expectations of myself. I didn't know no better.
Come on.
I have higher expectations of myself, so I need to be involved in a intimate relationship with a woman. I don't want a female. I have no use for no female. I need a woman
Yes, sir.
because I'm striving to be the best man that I can be
Brother,
now.
brother, that's good. You said that well, and that was good. I mean, I heard Donald. I also heard your comment regurgitated in that confession.
Yeah.
And you know what, I call it a confession because, you know, in past times, our maleness and our pride won't allow us to think on that level and talk about it on that level. We just are like, well, you know, you hurt my feeling, you offended me, and therefore, you know, bump you and the horse you came in here on, you know, and then we just got drama. So I love that, you know, I love that comment. Go ahead, son, go ahead.
One thing I definitely appreciated what you said was about not knowing, you know, and understanding that you don't want anything to sabotage what you have built up. You know, so I like that part that you acknowledge that, you know, when you get to a certain point, it goes the other way. You know, and now that you have established some stuff that you might not had established before, and now you have it established, and you don't want nobody to mess it up, you know. And I understand that part too. And like Pops was talking about too is definitely giving her 70 excuses, you know, or reasons, you know. And the other part is bringing her along that piece too. But if not, then you might, you know, you have to just divorce that person and move on. If that's the case, but because I had a similar situation like that too, and actually I had to move on from it.
Yeah,
you know, so,
yes, sir.
but I did wait my second time 10 months before I was in a relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
so I had learned from my first one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
and
sir.
I said, oh, no.
Yeah,
I can't do that.
I gotta back that one out. You know what I mean? Because, brother,
I was
yes.
like, man, I was like, oh.
Right.
Hey, you get some good stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You
sir.
getting some jewels right now,
Yes,
man.
sir.
You getting jewels,
That's
man,
beautiful. We all getting them,
Yeah,
man, because
we
we
getting
all are,
jewels
we are
right
all
now.
in this
That's
thing
right.
together,
That's right.
and you know, the whole dynamic
Jewels right there.
of winning. You know, you'd almost, if I could unpack a little bit and think about, if you ever gave yourself a chance to think about what does a win look like for me? You know, and when you go back and look at it, what does a win look like? I'm talking about a win in the big picture.
Right.
Yeah, I won this. You know, me 100 in life or 72. You know what I mean? It's a win.
Right.
Well, sometimes the win requires us to play our cards differently. You can't always play your hand, Anthony, this is what you're talking about. You can't always play your hand the same way. This is what the brother was saying. You got to know when to hold up.
Know when to fold.
Yeah, know when to what? What's the next part?
Know when to hold up.
Walk away,
Walk away.
or when to run.
Right. That's it.
You say you don't count your money when you say. But this is kind of what we're at here.
Wow.
It's a big boy conversation.
It is.
And this sister, what Travis talking about, she's a good girl, and she's proved herself. She got some stripes. I'm just saying this from my perspective. You know, you the one living with her, but I'm just saying she got some stripes, and we deserve to treat her. You know what I mean? With respect. If she came in here, I would honor her because I know she been doing the walk, the funky walk with him.
She putting in work.
Right,
She putting it in.
right, and so I'm not quick to overlook. I'm not saying you are. We just talking.
Right.
I'm not quick to overlook that.
Right.
And so the whole idea though is, like Anthony was saying, giving it some time and being responsible to try to bring her across the bridge with you, because it's a win.
Let me,
But at the same time, if later
yeah.
it becomes a challenge to your freedom, this is the number one way for one of us to go back to jail or prison, is a failed domestic relationship. If it becomes a challenge to your freedom, then Anthony, you gotta cut it. Go ahead.
One thing I want to explain to you, brother. Now, prior to me going to prison, the young lady I was with, she introduced me to these guys. I became an independent contractor from Elise's relatives. Blew up overnight. But what I didn't do, I shared my fruits of labor with her and did everything under the sun, but I didn't elaborate with her on saying, baby, this is for us. The point that I'm going to get into you is that she got jealous of my success and flipped out, all because I came up. But my advice to you is tell us that, baby, this new job that we got coming, this is for us. Implicate her in on it. Let her know that she's a team and that she's in on it, because if she feels any pinch of not being a part of what you finna come up on, she'll get envious and jealous of that, because said no disrespect, but the Negro is quick to sell us out. The Negro will hit us quicker than the European. So you let her know that this is for us both. So be sure to do that. Put her in on it.
Yeah, and that ain't just for Travis, for
everybody.
You know, and that's a real good. I'm gonna go back. Hey, Pat, how you doing, son? Well, you look good with that street fleet thing on. You know, like that. You're a part of the team or something. You know what?
I'll take credit for that.
Okay, watch this. Before we give out any credit, let's go back over this one more time, because I didn't even realize, I hadn't read the acts before I came. This wasn't the direction I wanted us to go tonight necessarily, but I'm fine with it. And let's read it again, because I want to get Patrick and everybody who just walked in a chance to chime in. Somebody else read it. Go ahead, son.
Your mate is your mirror. Many of us think we are lucky or blessed when we just find the right person to love. By now, we know that nothing in life is an accident, including our selection of a mate. The people who come into our lives are a reflection of who we are. They reveal to us those things we cannot or refuse to see about ourselves. The very thing we don't like about our mate is the thing we need to change.
Wow.
The things we love about the other person is a hidden, undeveloped, or unrecognized assets that we have. We can only draw to us those people who are on our rate, our level of energy and development. They reflect back to us the very things we do. Most of us reject this idea, but then most of us reject criticism too. We find it difficult to accept those things about us that others see. We do, however, feel completely justified when we criticize our mate. Here's a question for you. How would you know what to call what you see in your mate unless you have seen it somewhere else?
Ooh.
Amen.
I don't know who wrote this one, but man, this one is gunpowder. Yeah, really was.
I am looking in the mirror of self
Yeah,
and making an adjustment in me.
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's so good. Let me take you to the first sentence, because I think this is just a little point I want to make that happened in my own personal life. Many of us, I'm just going to change that to I. I think I'm lucky or blessed when I find just the right person to love. Stop right there. this is how it worked for me. Like Anthony said, I stopped chasing females at one point in my life, and females were my life, and that's all I did at another point.
Right.
But watch this, I stopped that, and I said, you know what, I don't want another dime, you can't give me a dime, I don't want your money, I don't want nothing from you. I need to prove to myself that I am man enough to care for myself on my own terms. And so I just pulled myself and separated myself. I needed the Lord to do this. I'm just going to give credit where it's due. I pulled myself out of that. This is why I'm making this point. Because during that time when I was in hiatus, Anthony, this is what you were saying, this is when I found out how to love myself on my own terms, and not necessarily be that love be associated to anybody else. No female or nothing. Just how do I feel about myself? Could I get up in the morning and go to work? Can I learn how to save my money? Could I keep from spending up all my money, you know, as if I was still living in the street? Yeah. I don't hear nobody in here. And watch this. And so here to me is the key point in the whole piece. Because if you have tied your I amness to a female, you have already surrendered way too much. You already playing inappropriately the game that's already stacked against you. I don't hear nobody. Because watch this. So when that happened for me, hey son, watch this, man. Like quality females started knocking at my door. Quality, say quality. Quality. Yeah, and I had to really ask myself, Trav, listen to this. What is it that I am really looking for? Really? What do I really want in a mate? I had never asked myself that question. I want to tell you, I think that I was in my very early 40s before I asked myself that question. What am I really looking for? Then it came clear to me, I have to have a very intelligent woman because, you know, I'm high powered. And if this is just how I am. And so if she's not high powered, we might look good together, but I'm gonna plug into your socket and blow up all of it, and I will be disrespecting you. So I said, well, I can't come in unequally like that. I have to have an intelligent woman. I also like beautiful women. You know, beauty is a part of, you know, I like a beautiful car. Say a car. I like a beautiful house. Say a house. Maybe several of them. Okay. You know, I like my, you know, clothing, and I like things that are nice. I love artwork. I love beauty. Right. I love that in my female. Right. So she's got to be beautiful. She got to be intelligent. Then I have a sexual issue with ugly feet. I can't have a woman with ugly feet. Go ahead, I'm just telling you me. Right. You have what you got. You know everybody got their little come on. You know everybody got their little deal. You know some people, you know, a toe is just a toe to some people. It ain't like that with me. Right. You know if them feet is bad, I can't mess with you. Oh wait a minute, look. So then look. But what I'm telling you is when I set that criteria up, it eliminated a whole bunch of people who were very nice to me, and I was nice to them. But I didn't go there with them because I was saying at the end of the day, this is not going to work for us. Right. Yeah. So watch this. Later on, somebody say later on. Later on. Later on, then I was able to find exactly what I was looking for. Now watch this. And why I think it was a match is because this person had done her own work on her own, and she knew who she was without a male relationship. And so when we joined that, watch this, then both of us understood that we are so high-powered individually that in order for us to be together jointly, we have to surrender something. Somebody say surrender. Surrender. Surrender is actually a very powerful terminology. It says that you have become comfortable enough in your man to allow your woman to win all the time.
That's right.
That don't mean that you're losing.
Right.
It means that part of my job is to make sure you win. And on that tip, I sometimes have to step back.
That's right, submit that, let it go.
I have to surrender it. Right?
Compromise.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Compromise is a good word, but I'm using surrender for a reason. Because the truth of the matter is, surrender is a powerful term. This is the term used when giant nations go against one another.
Yeah.
And then for the sake of not destroying the whole nation, you have to surrender and compromise so that everybody else gets a win out of it, even when you lose. I'm trying to help somebody tonight. Now watch this. Ooh, I love having a conversation like this while eating chicken. Ain't that good? Watch this. And look, little mama got cake. Look at her face. I'm gonna say this one more thing and then I'm gonna pass it. I want somebody else to jump in. I believe that part has helped us to go on for the 15 years that we've been at it.
Come on now.
And the other part that I would say, Trav, and to everybody else here, is I don't take for granted the victories that we already had.
Yeah, because it was hard for us to get there.
Yes, sir.
Everything like that is valuable.
And watch this. So just last night we did good. But when I woke up today, I have reminded myself that we still in this, and I have to manage this at the right temperature. And remind myself I was a good man yesterday, but that ain't saying nothing about today. I got to get out here and prove it. I don't hear you. Somebody say prove it.
Prove it.
Now, who am I proving it to? Not her. That's right. Now I'm not proving it to her. Because otherwise you're being victimized by females and not recognizing what's really powerful in you. And if you don't never recognize what's powerful in you, you will always be looking for yourself behind a female, and she will always disappoint you because she could never measure up to your expectations. I don't hear nobody else jump. Somebody else jump in. Somebody else jump in.
I just left a relationship like that because the woman couldn't match my expectations. She couldn't handle it.
You can have it.
Too much.
Too much.
You know, just had a little discrepancy against my swag.
Right.
You know, like just make a comment, right? Who you think you are? I'm like, this is how I am. You know, you have a problem with it, this ain't going nowhere. We ain't gonna make it to the corner. You take a token, you come to us.
Y'all ain't gonna make it to the corner.
We ain't gonna make it to the cornerstone.
Right.
And that killed me.
Des, now you've been listening to us. Des is a guest tonight. And you've been hearing the conversation. And so just as a guest, we're gonna let you chime in. Patrick, then you come in here. Go ahead.
Yeah, I heard a lot of things. But
Just first say a little bit about yourself.
oh yeah, I'm Des. Des is my real name.
Yes, sir.
And I been working with incarcerated workers organized committee, and that's how I met Brother Va, Brother Israel, Brother Harry.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Harris was supposed to come, and I was supposed to come with him, but his phone off.
Yeah.
So I just took it upon myself to come on my own.
Yeah, good.
You know, because him and Israel kept saying, "You gonna like it."
Yeah.
So
Was they lying?
no, they ain't nothing. I can see what they meant.
No? Go ahead.
So, yeah, and this right here has been a struggle for me. So, you know, I'm pretty much, I've been trying not to be a misogynist. I've been trying to be conscious of that, but sometimes I kind of slip into that.
Would you mind defining?
You break that down for people what they mean.
Or like a dude who just do what he want with women, you know, and think less of, women. But I don't think less of women, it's the things I might do, you know, that, might seem like that to myself, you know, and I don't know how to not separate the fact that I don't think I'm doing it, but they be thinking I be doing it, you know?
But you be doing it. You just said it. You hear yourself saying like, yeah, I do it.
But see, it's like I be trying to be respectful to my relationships.
Right. Does that mean slick or just respectful?
No.
I'm just checking.
I'm trying to be respectful,
Right.
but they be seeing things like I mean I've been in the streets, so I've been shot up a lot, and I'm paranoid, so I'm gonna look at everything that's moving. And when I look at women, I might stare a little bit too long, and they catch that.
Yes, sir.
But they don't understand that that was my past. You know, I'm just like that. You know, so they be like, you keep looking at these women. I'm like, I ain't really looking at the woman like that. I'm looking at the person. But I see and then when they mentioned it, I see the woman. I'm like, yeah, she was nice.
Yeah, right.
You know, but while you was looking at that woman, you know, it's just a mind thing I'm battling with.
Right.
And you say the reflection of yourself. I kind of like try not to mess up women's lives, so I used to mess with women that I knew that didn't really have that security in their mind, because I probably didn't have it either, you know, what he said. You know, and it was easy to say, okay, when it's all said and done, I can break up with this person and blame her like, you messed up.
Right.
Like, you was insecure, you didn't see that I was trying. And then, like what he said, you know, I've been in situations with women that I was doing good, and they fucked my shit up.
We don't call it. Yeah.
Okay, well, they messed my whole program up.
Right.
And I had to, you know,
start
over.
Yes, sir.
And that was frustrating.
That was painful.
Yeah.
Man, give him a little tap for that. But just for your first time being here, man, you shared quite a bit there, Desmond. And we'll just keep moving it around a little bit, but that was good, and maybe we'll come back to that. But Patrick is here, Will is here. I want to get them involved in the conversation. Pat, what you got? Did you read that?
Yeah, I read that.
Go ahead.
My name is Patrick Nunn Bay. And you know, one of the things that I can say that I can attest to, because before I met Pops, I met Miss Price. And when I heard Miss Price speak, I left. It was in Moose Lake. I left out of the room talking about, I believe I can fly. So when I met Pops, I said, you know what? I said, man, they're a power couple. And that was something that inspired me to change my whole thinking about what a couple is. Because kind of like my man was just speaking there, I never viewed women in a good, positive light because of what I seen, what I was raised around, what I endured.
Yes, sir.
Now, that still doesn't give a person a right, namely me,
yes, sir,
to think the way that I was thinking. But this is what I told and convinced myself that this is all I know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to change that a lot. And one of the things that I have to remember is I can't control anybody. So it goes back to the person that I'm attracted to, what attracts me. And yes, lust is a big part of what attracts me to a person, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be for what's in the inside. But that's something that I never viewed, what a person has in the inside.
Right.
So it's led me to choose the wrong people in my life. And, you know, I've had some good women in my life, but I didn't respect them enough to meet them more than halfway and get myself together.
Wow, that's good. Man, that was powerful, Patrick.
Yeah,
and I would just say one thing about Patrick's wife. I'm just going to give her a shout out right now, Mrs. Nunn, because you know, Patrick had a medical condition that was serious, and I'm I'm gonna tell you, this condition was so serious, a certain woman would have fell apart and could have panicked.
That's right.
And
Said, I'm gone, I can't take this.
And if that were true, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Because the person who you got, she dug in and pulled you back up out of there, man. And
Still fighting.
and I'm gonna just say to you, just like I was saying to Travis, all love. You know, I love you, and that's really how I got to know her. And I stood as the best man at your wedding, and others who are in this room too. But I'm gonna tell you something, separate from you, man, I got this much respect for her. Cause I seen that sister get down on the real tip. Yeah, and she wasn't backing down, and she was down for it. And also within, I would say within an hour and a half of Patrick having his situation, we had his hospital room packed with pop guys. Packed.
Right. She started calling the pop guys.
God damn.
I had a heart attack. I couldn't get on no phone and call nobody, you know, so I definitely appreciate that about her.
She's a good girl. Let's give her a little clap right here. Go ahead.
Can I say this little piece real quick? It's not loud.
Right.
I used to tell myself when I was locked up before I got married, the woman that I would find, she would know me just like I would know her.
Wow.
And I would not have to explain to her who I am or what I am, and vice versa.
Right.
And that's how I got my wife.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's a powerful
Yes,
sister.
yes. It's just, hey, come on. People can't, outside looking in, most people can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It feels like we're unevenly yoked, but we're not.
Yeah.
You know, but we're not. The reason why we're not is because it was meant to be.
Wow. Donald, that's good
I'm
word.
just
That's
saying.
good word. That's good word. Again, and she has been a real soldier.
Yeah, she's a soldier. She's everything.
And I would just say that she didn't have really, in some ways, the experience with handling the situation like that, and she surprised everybody with being a champion in the ring.
She did it. She learned it.
Yeah.
She learned it.
Yeah.
She really did. She learned it, and she learned it well, and I learned my part. Just like he said, I had to learn my part too.
Right.
You know, put my little male pride in my back pocket
Yes, sir.
and go on and just keep it moving. Because otherwise, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I crossed myself out many times on that tip.
Let me just go another direction for 1 second. That's powerful. You all know, many of you know that we have a little small business, Pop Delivers. We've been delivering, we have a contract with the Star Tribune to deliver their product in Bloomington, Litchfield, and Edina. Son, would you put that down?
I was checking this, I'm sorry.
And you know what? To the people here that started the business in the dead of winter, in snowstorms and ice storms, we said we was going to show up, and we showed up. We said we was going to do it, and we did. We wasn't making no money. We didn't know what we was doing. The police stopped us on a regular basis, but we kept on going. And I just want to say to those people who have participated and those people who still keep thinking this ain't nothing. Last pay period, we were close to $1,000. Now we had 10 different people who was operational. Some earned more, some less. But if you can knock off 1,000 every other week, coming right out of this office right here and created this thing right here, and made it work, there's nothing we can't do if we put our minds to it. Anthony did a great job. Will is one of our founders, and even Uncle Miss, the Queen, Miss Lolita, is trying to get me to call Uncle and try to bring him back in. We had to move Uncle kind of out of the way, not mean spirited,
Right.
but Uncle was, you know, he was kind of a little bit set in his ways, and we had to learn how to be faster, to do our job faster.
Yeah, we did.
And Uncle had to, he was trying to, you know, say, Shane, this is how, I was like, no, it's not gonna go that way. And that hurt him. And then he backed out of group and everything like this here. But the truth of the matter is that we had to do that. Now we're delivering upwards of, you know, 800-900 papers per night, or per weekend, you know, and hitting it. So on this, it's payday Tuesday. We get paid every other Tuesday, and so this is a little stack of money for Anthony Fletcher, Baba Gaddafi. Give him a little hand. His brother, who is also a part of the team, who's sick and battling and trying to get his health together. You know, I was telling him we send a shout out to him, and this is his pack.
I gotta go pick him up now from the hospital, that's why.
Ananias, this is Ananias' pack right here. And then also, Ananias, what you've been doing is mentoring his stepson, Kevin, Special K. And I love that, man. I love what y'all are doing. I mean, the beauty of it. And now Kevin done got to be a professional, man. He's in there, man. He's in there like a doctor, you know, doctoring up them routes and everything. And send him, he made some money. And Marvin Clark went out with us. And you know who went out with us was like pulling teeth to get him out there? Mike Fox. But man, we was glad to have Mike Fox.
Oh, Mike went out?
Mike went out one night, man, look. And I'm gonna tell you, let me just show you how things will go. Oh, don't be playing like you don't want to.
You don't want your dog.
Hey, get it to the sister. Give her the envelope. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Give her a hand. Yeah. Mike came in and just so happened he caught the floor supervisor who took Mike out on a route, a big old route. He wanted Mike to stay with him. Mike stepped right into the gravy train, but wouldn't come back no more. He said, Pop, my legs is hurting. I'm like, Negro, my legs hurt too. You know, we ain't nobody, we can't be up here.
We gotta say something.
What you want to say?
Man, this lady's house was so far up the hill. They had 3 ways to go through the staircase. This way, that way, that. And he all the way down the street waiting on me like, I'm like, I ran through two houses to get to the level and back down the hill. Them hills ain't no joke on the south side. I'm like, no joke.
Well, one of the things I gotta pick my brother up, that's why I was leaving early, but one of the things that I'm going out of town, and I wanted any brothers that can take my route for the weekend, because I'll be able to do my Thursday route. And also, the company had asked me to do a full route for 7 days a week, but then the guy backed out of the deal. So, but
Luke.
The deal was I would do a full route for 7 days a week. So that was pretty good as far as the POP organization, Pop Deliveries. That was just a compliment to us as far as what we've been doing.
That's right.
And getting it done, and people been complimenting and telling us what we've been doing. So, so that's been a big thing. But I wanted to know if any brother can substitute, because Pops will be gone too. But this Saturday and Sunday, if somebody can take the routes for me, because I know Pops will be gone too, and he explained the days that he'd be gone, but I'd be going in 2 days.
Right.
If somebody can pick up the routes.
Yes.
You know, so.
We need, go ahead.
And that means, you know, like Saturday morning, like, you know, 12:01 after midnight, and Friday, you know, like after midnight. So we saying Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday, but we don't mean, right, we mean like, so yeah, Friday after midnight, which is Saturday, right, and then Saturday after midnight, which is Sunday. And we only talking about a couple hours. So Pops didn't say we've been making this money just putting in a few hours. You know, just on those days. Those the only days we ever go out. Just on those days. And just on those couple days, we've been racking up that money, right? So, you know, it's a wonderful opportunity, and we're asking, because like you said, he's gone, Pop is gone, I'm supposed to be out of town, but if need be, I would be there, you know, because, you know, this thing don't stop, you know what I'm saying? But any help that we could get from Pop guys, just for, you know, those 2 nights, for those couple hours where you probably wouldn't be doing anything anyway, but being at home at that time of the night, right? It's an opportunity to make some money, and it's just for a couple hours. Just for a couple hours. Oh man.
Well, we could use you. You've come out with us once before. You know what it is. And so, as Anthony is sharing and Will has explained, I'm gonna be out of town. We'll probably be facilitating the next couple of weeks. My family is going to Orlando, and you know, we're gonna be gone. But I don't want to lose what we have built up out there. Our credibility is strong, and so we understand that some people in here, your custody level or ISR or all of these kind of things will allow you to participate right now. And we get that. But what we just saying is, when its time comes, this thing, I mean, this thing here is keeping a little change in everybody's pocket. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of fun. We end up having a lot of fun with each other. We have some laughs. And look at this, y'all. We out in Bloomington and Edina and this and that. Man, we all X everything, X this, that, the other, X this, that, the other. You know, knocking on people's doors saying, oh, yes, ma'am, hey, good morning, have a good morning. You know, we treat customers nice. They love to see us coming. And, oh, I didn't mention this, a couple of times in this pay period, we got tips. Somebody was giving a tip. I'm like, wow, you know what I mean? It was only like, it totaled $15, but you know, a tip is a tip. And so that means we're doing something right. And so what you got to do though is, if you would be willing to show yourself, maybe Mr. Wayne can get your name down and your number that you can do it or you'd like to try it, and we get you all the information for this Friday night.
And I'll be there, so I'll help you to understand what's going on while we're there.
Yeah.
And what needs to be taken care of, because I'll be there.
Yeah, and Ananias is gonna be in charge of really kind of shooting up them, divvying up them routes and making it work. He done got to be a master at that. Strategically setting up the routes so that we can score a victory.
But so you know how my
Same question. Go ahead, please.
yeah. Also, I'm probably gonna need this.
Go ahead.
A few months ago, when y'all first brought that to group, I've always wanted to participate, but I never thought that I could because I got 11 o'clock curfew. So that's why I never
said that.
But
it's another job.
I believe if you call my probation officer and ask him if I can do it on Fridays and Saturdays, he agree with it.
Just give me the number. I'll call him in a heartbeat.
Give it to you right now.
We got some employment going on. I love you, man. And tell Brad I'm sending my love.
You gotta get mom's here to make it out.
It ain't gonna work. I know. That's him right there. I just want to ask, can I participate on the weekend?
All right. Give Anthony some love. We love him. Now, you know, we're gonna go back to that, but y'all tonight, 2 things have happened. You know, Duval is home, and man, we're so glad, brother, to see you. Why don't you just tell them, if a couple people who don't know who you are, introduce yourself, and then we're gonna have some welcome home cake and ice cream on the strength.
I'm Duval, you know, pop finest, but you know, hey Marvin, I've been with the group for quite a while. You know, slipped But I got back up, you know, I let it, you know, trying to be open and honest to people, and people try to really kind of take me down for that and put words in my mouth that didn't, you know, have nothing to do with me. So, I mean, I'm glad to be home, man. You know, like literally be home. Because being in that Desmo crib, man, it's not a good thing, especially now.
Right,
This stuff have went on. And I'm telling y'all, it's I mean, I'm just glad to be home, you know, I'm just being honest with you.
Give him some love. He's gonna get paid. And if somebody would go back in the refrigerator, we got a couple of things, the ice cream, and just bring that out. And Marvin, I tell you what, Marvin is a part of all of this. He's a pop guy as well as a part of the Emerge development. I'm gonna be out of town. Man, if you could come out and do the route on Friday night, Saturday night, I sure would appreciate it. Would keep us up at a high level. You've been out on it. Mr. Mack is going to participate. We need some subs to step up because Anthony's going to be out and I'm just going to be out as well. So we'd love to have you if you could come. You know, this Friday night and Saturday. I know it's hard, but you know, if you can make it, come on and do it. But we love having you. And Marvin, do you have anything you want to share with the group?
Jamal, what happened today?
I want to thank Marvin, you know, and appreciate Marvin for, I started working this Thursday.
Come on, give him some love.
You know, I'm like I said, you know, Pop told me millions and millions of times I'm blessed, you know, and calling, you know, and not me you know, taking advantage of that, you know, trying to be slick. So, I mean, thank you, Marvin, you know what I'm saying? I start work Thursday morning, and I will be there, you know what I'm saying? I know how to get there, you know, and I appreciate you.
Do you need a social security card?
Yeah, he'll need to bring that when he comes Thursday morning.
I got it in the car.
Social Security and his ID.
Okay.
He'll need to come with a little bit more enthusiasm than he came for his interview yesterday.
Okay. So let's give him some enthusiasm right now.
Shane, quick question.
We'll see if Marvin is done. You got something else?
No, that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Go ahead, Wayne.
For the route stuff, are you still doing the paper folding or no?
No, we for right now I'm gonna leave folding alone. We just don't seem to be able to the people don't show up or this or that. So right now I'm gonna leave folding out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. But you got to be serious about it. The folders are so important. Some of them people out there, this all they do is deliver papers. That's their job. It's their job. For us, it's a part-time thing. Right. But these people, it's their living. They deliver 30,000 papers a week out of this warehouse that we're at. Now just multiply 30,000 times $2.25. That's how much a paper costs, and $3 for something. This is major money. We can dominate this business. If we could run 5 groups of 2s, we would dominate this thing and be pulling in something like $2,000 every other week. But you just gotta stay with it. You just gotta pound it out. I haven't even taken one time, I haven't taken a dime. I come out there because I wanna demonstrate what a strong work ethic is and what it means to be serious. But look here, what I am is when I put my weight on something, then this thing is gonna work. Whatever I focus on, this is gonna work. Say focus.
Focus.
Yeah, the reason why we struggle is because we suffer from broken focus. And when your focus is broken, the thing that you're trying to do, it can't work. But if you get on something and put your whole weight on it, like that, lean in. Say lean in.
Lean in.
Yeah, if you lean into the thing, then the people, wait a minute, this is a beautiful little white girl, she's so beautiful. Mary Ann, what's her name?
Mary Ann.
Kent's
his daughter?
daughter.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 of them. Man, she came and brought me a check. She was smiling so bright, like,
Right,
here go your money.
right.
I like that. Don't be mad at me. I like it. It was, look, and we done knocked them out. And all the rest of the people talking about, hey, these Negroes on time, they taking care of their business, they right where they supposed to be, and they're professional. And we don't do all that cussing and hee-hawing and kind of making people feel uncomfortable and trying to do some street stuff. Ain't somebody tired of that? Right. But look, we done messed around here and turned it into a real business. And as you all know in here, we've also submitted something to Amazon to potentially become a deliverer for Amazon. Now, we haven't heard back from them, but it's not because we didn't put our piece in. So I have every expectation they're gonna call us back and tell us something.
I'm ready Friday night, man.
Yeah.
If you can talk to them,
I'm gonna call them in the morning and I'm gonna get right back to you and let you know what's going on.
Okay.
Rob, let's touch base tomorrow afternoon.
Okay. All right, Mike. We love you though,
Hey,
man.
Myra,
You got time to go to lunch with Penn and I?
I want you to tell
You say you want-
Maxell about that. Look, give me just 1 second. I want you to tell Maxell when he came in about 2 weeks. Marcel, when he came in about 2 weeks ago, he said he had the resources that one was at Snelling and one was another over at the government, right? He was a maintenance job. And I called him and he gave me his emails and he followed up for me. The people called me for an interview last Wednesday.
Okay.
I get into the room, right? One of the interviewers was my actual instructor in the penitentiary.
Oh, wow.
Sitting right at the table, he said, hey, Amos, I know you. Because I taught you everything that you know.
Wow.
And I know that you know I'm going to bat for you.
Wow.
Right? Now, since then, they wrote me a letter, said we're proceeding on with the background. He knows my background. Like I say, he taught me in the penitentiary in Stillwater.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
And then now, Friday, I'm going over there to take my physical. So I'm progressing on, and I'm telling you, man, it feels like I'm being blessed. Man.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Tell him I said thank you.
Well, thank you for following up and doing what you're supposed to do. Because one thing about it, somebody can give you a tip, that's an opportunity, but you have to turn that opportunity into something with an action.
That's good.
So, yeah, good. That's good.
When he called, oh, you talked to him.
I talked to him, yep, and it's progressing on.
Okay, that's great.
Yep.
All right, so here we're going to keep moving. Little brother, say your name and just chime in to what we've been talking about tonight. Go ahead.
Well, I'm Leon Tez. I go by Tez for short. And we talking about this right here.
Everything.
Well, I feel like as far as this, I ain't got a mate right now or nothing like that because I've had, unfortunate situations, going through stuff with my daughter's mother right now, family court, and she's saying the worst about me, and it's not looking too good. She's trying to get all rights to my daughter. She's trying to use anything she can, a bunch of lies. But anyway, how I feel about this, as far as what we put out into the universe, our thoughts.
I want you to own your comments. What I put out.
What I put out into the universe, definitely it comes back to me. So it's like the law of attraction. I've been reading up about that and learning about that and reflecting on myself. A lot of the things that I look for in a woman is not always good. So I mean, I get messed up results like you was talking about exactly is a lust. Like I look for a lust thing and it doesn't always end well with me. So so I'm starting to reflect on myself, a little bit more to look for, a much more powerful woman about her brain, her way of thinking. Definitely looking at her mama first because she learned it from her mama. So I didn't do that before, you know what I'm saying? But I'm learning a lot, This group is very powerful. The 3 times, it's my 3rd time here. I've been learning a lot, you know what I'm saying? And reflecting on myself. I'm becoming a better man of, myself.
And how old are you, son?
I'm 28. I'll be 29 next month.
Give him a little love. The short feedback to that is just keep coming. Because because iron sharpens iron, and when you are in the company of men who are moving forward progressively and positively, it's impossible for some of it not to rub off on you. It's impossible. So just keep coming, and in a minute you're gonna see how this thing will develop you. You're being developed right now, but just stay with this, and we're gonna have to give you the book so that you can
Yes,
catch up.
I was going, yeah, ask
Catch
you
up
about
to,
the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book too.
Not this book.
And Adams and
That one. I got you. Start with the first one, and then you're gonna catch up to it.
Well, I'm saying, it's layers to the thing.
Yeah, put some layers on. But I love his hunger. I love his hunger though. Right there is right. It's right. And I appreciate that. That's kind of reminds me of myself. I'm just hungry for it. You know. But look here. I'm just really glad to have you.
No, I'm glad to be here.
And
I call it a blessing.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Amen. So catch this now. I got something, and I just got a little bit. It's 7:22. I have
cake, no ice cream.
Who?
I'm lactose.
Yeah, oh, good. I got something I want to share with you that'll just take a couple of minutes, and I just want to go to the board here for a minute.
Take a piece of cake, no ice cream.
Yeah. So y'all would hurry up with that, whatever you're doing, ice cream and everything.
Hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up. I just need your attention real quick. Yeah. So there's a meeting over there about ice cream. We got
Just got started. Hurry up.
Somebody say quickness. Quickness. I got quickness about myself. Watch this.
Travis,
Watch this.
grab a spoon or
I have been, something has come over me, man, and I need to just let it out. I don't have it as developed as it will be by the time I share it inside, because I'm going inside with it, but I'm starting outside.
Right.
And one of the things it has to do with is your thinking. Say thinking. Thinking. Both outer and inner. Both your outer and inner thinking. In the 8 steps to the good life, thinking is number
2.
right. And thinking is number 2 only because thinking is invisible.
Right.
Right now you're looking at me, Desmond. I cannot see what you are thinking. But when you say something from your mouth, number 1, it will reveal, number 2, what you are thinking. But thinking is actually number 2 in the 8 steps to the good life.
That's right.
And I won't go through all of that.
Right.
But I realized something that is going on subliminally. Say subliminally. Subliminally. What does that mean? Underlining. That's good. That's good. But I just wanted to ask Angelo the definition before he asked me. Give him a hand.
I will ask the question some of us may not want to ask.
Okay.
I don't know. He's right.
So watch this. Subliminally, there is something going on in the world, and it has just dawned on me in a dream. It placed itself, it plays out in my dream, and it shows me there's something that is subliminally taking place, and it's taking place all over the world, and it's wiping out our memories. Say memories.
Memories.
Now you know, just to help you see this, I'm going to draw what looks like a small brain. The brain is shaped like this right here. Yeah, the brain is shaped a little bit like this here. There's 3 major parts to the brain. There's the frontal cortex. The frontal cortex, the inner brain, and the
optic medulla.
Medulla oblongata.
Yeah.
The stem, your brain stem, which, just so you know, the brain stem is your spine. It controls your spine and sends messages to your body to move or react. I'm currently sending messages to my body, and my spine is allowing me the ability to do what my frontal cortex is commanding of it to do. Now watch this. I have realized that in my life, in my particular life, I grew up in a time when, of course, there wasn't any cell phones or anything like that, anything close to that. Matter of fact, I had a telephone that was so big on the front table. It was huge, like this, weighed several pounds. I don't know, it must have been 8 or 10 pounds or 15 pounds. And there's a cord on it, a thick cord like this, that would run all the way across the room. And the kids would sometimes come running through there and grab a hold to the cord and zip the phone back at you like a boomerang, man. It would come at you, man, like a missile. And look, the phone was so heavy, you might got hurt, but nothing happened to the phone. You better not drop your cell phone right now, because you could be in trouble. Your plan or nothing else can save you, you know what I mean? But watch this. As I came up throughout my early life, phone numbers, say phone numbers.
Phone numbers.
Phone numbers were everything.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, I have always been a person who's gifted with a strong memory. I maybe could control 30 numbers.
Wow.
And have access to 30 numbers that were just in my mind at all times.
Right.
What I never realized is that the phone number, this was my first phone number when I was growing up as a young person, 5 years old. This was my phone number, Jackson 5 0378, 10378 was my first phone number. 5210333 was my second phone number. 8258122 was my mama's house. 3321 was my uncle's house. So my uncle, mom, my place, and then my grandmother's house, who raised me, her number was 612. I'm just using that so you know what I mean. 377-7038. Listen, this number stayed the same for probably 50 years. And when she passed, I took the number on myself. So people could call me just out of convenience because my number never changed. Listen to this, what I'm trying to show you now. Watch. Well, these numbers, say numbers.
Numbers.
Watch this carefully. These numbers, which I did not understand, these numbers are connected to the memory. I'm gonna wait for all the amens to die down.
Amen.
These numbers were connected to a memory. So every time, for instance, and I lost my mother, my grandmother, there's times when I will wake up and I want to say to myself, I'm gonna call my mother.
That's right.
What I'm saying is, I want to remember my mother.
Right.
And the doorway to remembering her, Donald, is her phone number.
Wow.
Yeah. And it never dawned on me before how critical these phone numbers were that were in my mind. These numbers were in my mind because there was love there, and the love is associated to the memory. Say it louder than that.
Memory.
That created the
Love.
Now watch this. And so this is how the frontal cortex would process information neurologically. Say neurons.
Neurons.
Neurons are the things that flow from the frontal cortex to the other parts of the brain. And when there is no connection, you see the gap in there? I don't hear you.
Yeah.
When there's no connection in there, the brain is actually misfiring, like an old-fashioned car that would misfire when a plug was out, a point was off. That's a misfire of the brain. But here is what I'm realizing that is happening to us all over the world subliminally, is that the lack of the ability to remember phone numbers on your own is stealing away and canceling out the memories that created that you exist under, and it causes your frontal lobe to shoot out something neurologically but not get a fire back on the other side.
Oh, man.
I don't hear you in here. I'm trying to tell you something, man. Watch this here. Watch this carefully. Keep your eyes on this. And what I realize is right now, the only phone number that I can remember by heart is my wife's. Wow. It's the only one.
Oh, wow.
I don't have 30 numbers in my head anymore, and it's actually causing those memories to be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow. Watch this. Watch this carefully. And it's dawning on me, the technology is supposed to be there to help you.
Right.
Advance that, but it doesn't.
But they didn't realize the impact it was going to have on your frontal cortex.
Right.
That the brain actually needed those numbers and needed to remember them in order to reach out and call them based on a feeling. Say a feeling.
A feeling.
Now, when the number is erased, it also cancels out your ability to have the
Feeling.
the feeling. I'm coming to you, just let me get it out. I'm also trying to get this feeling, and so suddenly now I'm sending this message out from my brain, but the feeling is interrupted and has all of these gaps in it. I still have it, but the stream is not flowing powerfully and smoothly the way it once did.
Yeah.
And I understand that the technology is actually inside of my frontal cortex, has erased the numbers from my own brain, and that it can give me back the number, but not the feeling.
Wow.
Right.
I have 10 children. I can't remember one of my 10 children's phone number. I only know my wife's number by heart.
Wow.
Now watch this. I have decided to start small. That I would get 10 numbers, write them down, and start committing them back to memory. Listen to this, so that I can get over the ability of my phone to manage my feelings for me better than I can manage them for myself.
That's right.
I don't hear nobody.
Yeah.
I don't hear nobody.
Yeah.
You gotta watch this. I'm coming to you. You gotta watch this. And so, you know, I'm starting with my own children. I should be able to pick up the phone without looking at anything or asking the phone, dial my wife.
Right. You
You gotta go?
trying to hold on,
Yeah. Are you feeling this? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And-
No, the reason why I was laughing because, you know, I just got home from the joint, so I know a bunch of numbers because I had to get it. Okay. You saw that? I know like 20, but I had to physically. But I get the concept of the phone erases that.
It does,
And it
and so my point of teaching it in prison, I'm sampling it right here. My point is to say that what you're connected to, this only proves my point, what you're connected to in the joint is all of those feelings. And it mandates, say mandate. It mandates that you remember the number. Because the number and the feeling are associated together, and it captures the memories. And so what I'm saying to you, don't allow technology to usurp your ability to manage those numbers on your own, because it also connects you to the memories and to the feelings, and it doesn't allow the technology to steal your ability to think. You have ever heard this comment, you better use it or lose it?
Yeah.
What ends up happening is when the frontal cortex is now not being exercised at the level that it once was, it starts to get lax and lazy and doesn't want to produce a number for you.
And he
Well, I'm teaching better than y'all.
That's good, that's good, Pops.
And this right here,
I'ma see y'all later.
let's give Trav some love. Trav, you got some really good feedback tonight. You took that well.
You really did a good job.
I love how you handled that. And I love that that reading was just for you.
Hey, can I see
Don't
something, Chad,
forget.
before you go, please? When he was speaking to Chap, he was giving you some information, right? And when he was giving him that information, all I could think of, because I didn't know what he was going through, but all I could think of was that Bobby Womack, woman gotta have it. She gotta know when she's needed around.
Right.
That's all when he was saying, right? And I just caught the end of it, right? So I said,
No,
wow.
that's good. That's good. Bobby had it right.
Don't forget. Don't forget. It's us. Me and you,
Say,
baby. It's our job.
Give us a wait a minute. How is Isaac doing?
He's doing good. You know, he's unpacking a lot of stuff. I thank you for bringing him up. When he was here, he was asking if somebody would send him the recording. He wants to send it to his sister.
Yeah, I have it sent and
He
tell
said he
him.
was gonna call me. He never called. Is he there?
I will give it to Wayne and see if Wayne will do it.
Okay.
From
I'll email it to him or something, or
send it.
to
Tell him send our love to him, man. That we love Isaac and tell him to come soon.
He said once a month, I think.
This month, he's coming this month.
Okay. Yeah. All right, bro. Did I sign your deal?
I didn't get one back.
All right.
I'm off field.
All right.
I'll see y'all
Go
next
ahead.
week.
See you, Trav.
What's up?
I used to go to my wife's church.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I know I meant to say something about
That's beautiful. What church is it?
it. Mount Olivet on 451 Central.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that's
good.
excellent. He said he was gonna get in the church.
He's into it.
He's into it. Y'all, what are you hiding behind it? Come on in.
I ain't got but a minute.
What you so busy doing?
Just come stick my head in.
Yeah, come on, don't you want no chicken? Come on, sit down.
good.
You good, huh? Look at Arthur Tripp, just got through, completing ISR, and he's on regular parole. Now give him a hand. And, we're gonna create Arthur a certificate of completion for completing ISR successfully. What do you want to say about it, Arthur?
It was hard, but I did it though.
Yeah.
I had to do what I had to do to stay off of it.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna keep doing what I got to do.
You working? You still
No, I
working?
had surgery on my knee 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so insurance company paying me, so I'm keeping a little money in my pocket. I'm good.
Yes, sir. Look at he good. Yeah, I love that. Well, have you some chicken if you want some. We're glad to have it. You know what I mean. And so anyway, I'm throwing this out, and I'm developing this piece to go inside, but I wanted to sample it out here. So I just open it up for comments and thoughts. Go
I got
ahead.
feedback. You know, there's 2 phone numbers out of 2 of my family members, numbers that I know. My grandmama number stayed the same for all years, 261-4338.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, Willie would not believe it, but out of all the family members, his number is the only one that I know, 537-1357. I know this man's number by heart.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
Yeah.
I dealt with a woman, Kathy, I don't remember what Kathy's phone number is. I dealt with April, 2.5 years, I don't remember her number.
777.
My own brother.
Hey. What's that phone? Well, you know, but look, see, y'all, you don't want to, see what you got to face. What you just said. That's right, and you got to face that.
You know,
look,
face that.
you can mess around here and call it what you want to, and all this, that, and the other. But you got to face the fact that there's a real bond there, and it's a thin line. Oh my God! I'm using
I know I can call on him.
I'm using Angelo's thing. It's a thin line between
love and hate.
But that line exists, and so that you got to respect that and recognize what that is. Somebody else jump in. Go ahead, Duval.
Man, that just hit right on point, just right there. You know, when I got myself in trouble, I don't know nobody's numbers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? but I knew his number.
Okay.
I knew my pop's number. He's the first man I called. I'm not, look, I didn't even call my mama. I'm just saying. And I just know about heart, you know.
Right.
And when I got in the joint, he ain't out the joint. You know, he said, son, what you doing? When I got in the joint, I said, look, I'm just calling y'all. Need to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, you know, it's the people that you love, you know, and you remember, and I mean, it's been in your life, and believe in you, you know, and you know, I ain't never had that, but when I look at it, it's there.
Right, that's right. Well, you know, it's a good time for me to mention to you that, you know, about 3 of us and myself, when you had to lose your apartment, unfortunately, and packed up all your stuff and, you know, moved it, put it in storage, and paid your storage bill every month until you came home. And so I'm so glad to say that this month you can pay that bill yourself. You know, we'll pay it this month while you're getting yourself together, or, you know, this and that, but you're all your things, because here's one thing that I hate with a passion. You don't hear me use that word often. But I hate with a passion is when you lose everything and then you gotta start all over from nothing. And see, one of the things, that's a curse from hell. And one of the things that I want to make sure that we don't do is we can take a hit but not lose everything as a result of it. This is a pop guy calling me. Jeff, what's going on, brother? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. You in the group. Everybody can hear you.
Yeah, how y'all doing, brothers?
What's up, Jeff?
Wish I could have been in that group today. Unfortunately, I'm in school programming for 8 weeks. I get certified forklift at Ocean 10. So that's where I'm at now. It's 3 merge. And I was trying to talk to you real briefly, if it's okay, Pop.
Yeah, well,
or is this a bad time?
Well, we're in group, son, so we're in group right now. So what is it, something that can be the whole group can hear? Then go ahead.
Basically, it's pertaining to what I was talking about, the job situation over at Second Chance.
Right.
When I thought I was under a 90-day contract with Second Chance, but Marvin sat me down on Friday and told me, no, it's not 90 days. Find a better employment, then we recommend you get it. So I came in today, told him I got a call to this pilot company. They want to hire me as forklift. So basically what you got to do is let Kevin know that you want to leave early. So when I left early, the man told me if I could pass the UA here, hire me. So he's like, well, can you come in tomorrow to do the UA and we'll hire you on the spot? So I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll guarantee you can pass the UA. So he's like, okay, well, after that, I called Mormon and back, and Poppy, it's like he kind of like weighed my impression of it. He refusing for me to get this job. Friday, the workplace gave me some child support papers. I was like, wow, this is quick. So, it's just the pay here ain't adding up to what I have to pay rent for, child support. So I'm trying to explain it to him. He's like, well, look, man, I don't know what to tell you. All I know is be here tomorrow at work. I'm like,
right. Yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying. We could go on with this, but we ain't gonna be able to settle it right now on the phone. But what I would say to you is show up at work like we said. We did make a 90-day contract. I remember that. And then let me talk to Marvin on the side and figure out what's going on, and then I will get back to you after he and I talk. He just left here, and had I known then what I know now, then I would have tried to corner him right then and there and settled it. But it could be that Marvin is willing, but then the rest of his team maybe is not as willing, and he's in the middle of that. And so we have to appreciate the nature of his relationship. It's not like POP, right? Where we make a decision, this is this decision right here. That's the end of it. But with that organization, Marvin has some pull, but he may not have the final say in certain things. So we need to just talk with him and make sure that we're protecting Marvin and protecting you, because even if child support and all these other things are presenting themselves, you're still going to win because you're a winner. And when you're a winner, you're going to always win no matter what people are put in front of you. And just keep that in mind, because losers never win and winners always do.
That's right.
Well, I got love for him. I'm going to let you go for right now. Give him a little dab, give him some love, and appreciate you calling in, and we'll holler at you in a minute.
All right, thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, you know, I love what you said, Duval, and you know, your stuff is out here on Ocean Highway in a nice, clean. You know, we could have put it in the little funky butt storage place, but I said that I wouldn't want nobody to do that with my stuff, because I'm hanky about my stuff, so you know, I want it to be nice. You know, put my stuff at the nice place. So I put your stuff at the place, you know, we could have put it at the little $28 place, but it might not be there now. Everybody going in and out of them places. And don't let homie need a bump, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's stall is hit, you know. You know, we got you in a place, it's so high tech, man, that I mean the lights come on and off, you know, as the people walk through, man, all of a sudden you start walking through that place and lights jump on and off. I'm like, man, what kind of place are you in, man? But so I'm gonna talk with your agent, and so have him to I'm gonna grab you and go out there and change the contract over to it's your name, and you know, then you can go in and out of it. You may want to go in there and look at it and see what's in there, and clothing and this and that. You got a ton of stuff in there, and so I'm just letting you know. You connected to something. We believe in you. We love you. But I'm gonna tell you this in front of witnesses, boy. Don't play. Give him some love. Somebody else got something about the presentation or anything else you got before we get out of here?
I'd like to say something about this meeting.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm Angelo Mack.
Angelo who? Angelo who?
Angelo Mack.
Oh, okay.
You know, your mate is your mirror. You know, for a long time, for most of the relationships I had, it was just more so survival. I was with females for more so survival, place to stay, whatever. But you know, they was long term as they was never meant on building anything, right? And I do today because of who I see myself as, or see myself as becoming, right? I really do believe that my relationship reflects that. Because the young lady that I'm involved with, she somehow seems to see me in the future, right? Whereas I still have the uncanny ability to see myself in the past. And I use terms like, hey, I'm a gangster. She be like, no, you a king. Right? So whereas I reflect or choose not to reflect, she kind of make me reflect, not on who I was, but who I'm becoming, right? So I say that because a lot of the things, you know, for me to get out the nest sometimes, right, it's difficult. But in that same nest, or, you know, like coming out of a womb. You know, I'm in the womb because I'm comfortable, I'm familiar with the womb. And I don't know necessarily what's in the future. So I'm hesitant about going there. But I have someone that's gonna say, get on out there, it's gonna be all right.
Wow.
You know, check it out. Just go check it out. It's gonna be all right. And for me, that's a beautiful thing, man. So I feel, you know, like, so the bottom is that I am looking in the mirror of self and making adjustments in me.
That's right.
And that's what my mate do for me. The person that I'm involved, they open the door and say, and I'm not losing myself in the process, but I'm starting to, you know, Shane said it once before. I mean, Pop said it once before. He said because of these particular relationships, it made the relationship that I'm in possible. And I feel that. I feel that a lot of times. You know, because those experiences is allowing me to experience this, and at the same time allowing me to surrender. Which, believe me, I'm still fighting. I don't know. No, you better be quiet. But the truth is, I know. I was told one day, you know what? If you lead me in the right direction, then I'll follow. But the truth is, you know, in order for me to lead, sometimes I realize I have to follow.
Yes, sir.
See, I have to know I have to know how to follow a direction in order to know how to give a direction.
That's good, brother. That's very good. That's one of the most important things I've heard you say in a long time, and that's amazing. You said that out of osmosis. You didn't even know you was going to say that. But that is powerful, what you just said, because it demonstrates, again, maturity is coming your way. And, you know, our youthfulness, our wildness, we always want to just blow up and, you know, and destroy and sabotage. But you up here got to give some of that stuff away. You know, you don't have to hold on to all of that. You know, and you got a nice relationship, and it's worth fighting yourself for. Will, you got something on that?
Yeah, but you know, I was thinking about, you know, Pat.
Go ahead.
You know, Pat. You know, Pat's wife, and you remember the night we spoke about it, and I said, you know, Pops, I wonder. I say now, there is no way Pat could have known when he met that woman on day one, that later on she would save his life.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And no way you could have known that, brother.
Yeah.
You know, but that there is the biggest indication that you done good with that one. You understand? You understand? So that's how you measure that success. You know what I'm saying? You know, you still here because of her. You know, and you know, I just you know, I've always believed that, you know, your woman is a reflection of you. You know, and it's because of that. That, you know, I don't believe in ever calling my woman out her name and everything, because if that's true, then if I'm abusing her and calling her out her name, then that is a reflection of the values I have.
Yes.
Right? So if I feel that I'm a man worthy of respect, right, then I'm going to treat my woman like that, because a man worthy of respect is never going to have a woman that's beneath that. You understand? I got to have one that's on my level.
Yes, sir.
Right? You know, you know, when I divorced my wife, I dated, you know, quick. I dated a couple of women that made over $100,000 a year. I like money, but I'm not a whore to money. Right? You know, so I would never choose my lifelong partner based off of money. Never would I do that. Right? And you know, I got a wonderful one.
Yes, sir.
I do, man.
Yes, sir.
I do. I got a good girl.
Yes, sir.
I do. I mean, you know, I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I do. You know, and she's more valuable than $1 billion.
Yes, sir.
And I wouldn't give her up for $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and I know I found my queen And how do I know? Because she treats me like a kid.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
that's good. Boy.
So,
That's good.
so you know, I you know, so I'm good. She's you know, I understand that I'm a loyal cat. You know me, and she is too. And you know, and I can, you know, and you know, I'm a generous guy, man. I'm a good-hearted guy, and you know, she is, you know, and that's why she, you know, I drew her, you know, into my you know, my field, you know, my energy field, you know what I'm saying, and I believe, I know that, you know, what I put out is what comes back, you know. And so we started off, actually, I met her as a friend. You know, I met her as a friend, you know, you know what I mean? And it just kind of, you know, and I didn't even see it really going there, you know what I'm saying? It just kind of went there, and it is what it is now. But this here, you know, I just, it really radiates with me on so many levels.
Wow. That's amazing. That's good. You know, for me to sit here, just all of us, but for me to sit here and listen to you, man, that was, it just.
Cause you know, the reason why I raised the money piece, cause I've been asked, man, you know, how come you didn't stay with, you know, she make this here, you know, she make that there, and I could have explained, but so, you know, have you ever just don't feel like explaining?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I say, yeah. But I know why. I never been a whore to money. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad, because that's how I know I would never betray myself or my values for money. See what I'm saying? So I would never do things that will cause me not to view myself in a flattering way no more. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not just with women, you know, it's with anything. You know, so when I say I'm not a whore to money, I'm saying across the board. You know, you see what I'm saying? It doesn't rule me. It does not cause me to compromise myself to a point that I'm past that tipping point, you know what I mean? And then I can fall back over into that track two. Well, you don't know what track two is, but yeah, but not everybody here know what that means. So, but yeah, I don't know, man.
It's powerful. It is powerful. It is powerful. And now, what you got? We're gonna get you in here. And we're gonna get out.
I was gonna say two things. Numbers. I remember numbers. I remember my son. Like really. I still remember my son's number because when he was first born, I was just so happy he was born. I was calling like clockwork all the time. What are you doing? He said, well, I'm on my way over right now. I'm gonna pick him up. 436-426. I'll never forget that number. That is old. That's an old number. Yeah. Right. So my home phone number 978-5571. All right. The very first number that we had that number my entire life.
Wow.
My entire life. I remember it being written on a name tag when I was like in kindergarten.
Oh.
Sure. So I remember that number. Wow.
Wow. That was deep.
My woman. She's having back issues right now. Like she has degenerative disc disease. Wow. So they're really like her disc and her back are just kind of really getting really bad. She had surgery on one, and the surgery actually made it worse. Oh. So there is a procedure that they can do to go in and do them all, but it puts her down for about 6 months of rehab. I've been knowing her since I was 17 years old, gentlemen. Wow. And when I went to prison, the whole time I was in prison, my mother was raising her. Wow. She came from her background, her own life wasn't so good. So when my mom knew that I knew her, my mom kind of stepped in and befriended her, and then she kind of moved in with mom. My mom kind of raised her from the time she was like, maybe 17, maybe like, yeah, about 17 until adult, you know what I mean? My mom was like, so she called my mom. You know what I mean? So she knows things about me that no other woman on the planet knows. Spending all that time with my mom, of course she does. You know what I'm saying?
You in like twins.
Yeah, so so when it says like, you know, we feel lucky, we feel blessed, it's like, nah, mind you, I've never been in a relationship with anyone. I've never been in a relationship. I mean, I've been in trouble in my life as a kid so much
Okay.
that I just have no time in a relationship.
Wow.
I'm surprised I don't have a lot of kids running around. I got one child. He's a boy. He's 29 years old. He'll be 29. I'll have opportunity to go see him, so I'll be taking a week off.
Sure. When is it gonna be?
From September 2nd, I think, to September 8th.
Okay, good.
So I'm gonna be in Chicago for about a week.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We cover you though. That's good.
Yeah. So I get to see my son.
Give him some love. I'm happy for you, man. Listen, what we're gonna do is pledge out of here.